Harold challenged me almost to come up with this on the spot, but I thought it would be best to keep under my time limit to have something prepared ahead of time. And I have some amazing pearls of wisdom that I would like to share with all of you from my tremendous life experience. I have learned a lot from Odyssey. Over the years, I've picked up facts about Henry Ford, learned about ostriches, met Greek muses and demigods, viewed Earth from outer space, and most importantly, I know to avoid ball swim with a 10-foot pole. Last week, when my mom was driving me home from college for the last time, I was telling her how sure I was that creative thinking on a college-level team is harder because we feel the limiting constraints of reality. To that, she said something along the lines of, as your level of education increases, your ability to think creatively decreases. I hate to say it, but I think my mom was right. In my 4 years of higher education, the only class that I've had that challenged my creative thinking skills was a theater scene design class. So tonight, my advice to all of you, still in the prime of your creative years, is to skip college. All of the important life lessons you hear about learning in college you actually already know, thanks to your years in Odyssey. First, procrastination. You may think that you have mastered that now, but college is really the time when this is perfected. An 8-page paper due tomorrow at 5. I think I'll start it tomorrow, after lunch. OMers know this skill almost as well as college students. Let's just be honest. There has been at least one competition where you and your team have arrived, and you're hoping that the judges don't get too close to that one part of your set that's still a little bit wet from the touch-up you did in prop storage. Or that paperwork, which you've known about since November, but it still needs to get done before competing tomorrow. Secondly, dining hall food. Though particularly awesome for a week or so at Worlds, it gets incredibly old incredibly fast. The alternatives, ramen or Chef Boyardee, also get old pretty fast. One silver lining is that most dining halls do keep classic cereals like Lucky Charms and Frosted Flakes on tap. Third, dining halls are also blamed for a phenomenon known as the freshman 15. By now, each of you are starting to feel the extra weight of 15 pounds worth of pins you've been carrying around all around campus for the past 3 days. Luckily, the pin pounds shed off much easier than your traditional college pounds. Fourth, group projects. For some reason, college professors love giving out group projects, as if none of us suffered through these in high school. With lame arguments like, these prepare you for real life, when you may be working with complete strangers to complete a goal, professors continue to get away with this punishment. Clearly, none of these professors ever did Odyssey. If they did, any Omer in the class would be automatically exempted from the assignment. Each Odyssey problem you do is a group project, often with complete or nearly complete strangers being thrown together on a team, each bringing a huge range of ideas and skills to a project. For the past 8 or so months, you've been brainstorming ideas and trying to sell them to your teammates as the best option for a good score. Fifth, your research papers. The thing professors love giving more than group projects is research papers. Again, OMers are far ahead of the game. The amount of research that goes into putting together a well-informed Odyssey skit is often comparable to a decent paper, even if Wikipedia is considered to be an acceptable source of information for Odyssey. Bonus points are normally awarded if your script rhymes for its entirety, and if you manage to keep it in iambic pentameter for the full 8 minutes, well, your team might have just earned a bachelor's and a degree in English. Sixth, all-nighters. Pulling an all-nighter, especially the night before an important exam or final, seems to be a rite of passage for college students. Much to the dismay of your coach, or whichever parent foolishly agreed to host an overnight workday before the tournament, Workdays can easily turn into work nights as teams amp up on Mountain Dew and Red Bull to crank out a set or backdrop over a weekend or while trapped in a snowstorm. Now, I don't want to make college sound too entirely bad. One great thing about college, aside from your mom telling you in your room, is Division 4 teams. We get to skip regional and state tournaments and come straight to worlds and wow judges and audiences, members alike, with our long thought out and normally only just constructed once reaching world final solutions to the long-term problems. But with only a handful of college teams competing in one problem, well, at least for now, the odds are in your favor. So if you do make it through high school and go down the college road, take a few months and do Division 4. But on a more serious note, all of us here today are here because of one person. That one person is on stage with me, and all of you know who I'm talking about. Dr. Sam. Thanks to his vision, Odyssey was born on a college campus and has now spread across the globe. It has easily been the most rewarding experience of my entire life, and it all started with one person. But there is another person on this stage that has made my 11 years in Odyssey possible. Ron Randall, this year's Spirit of the Odyssey of the Mind Award. As a Delawarean, I have spent my entire Odyssey career benefiting from his leadership of our state board. Though I may have been a little skeptical when Ron first asked me, I have actually enjoyed the past 2 years that I got to spend on it with him, helping Delaware make the shift from one enormous state tournament to 2 only relatively enormous regional tournaments. Dr. Sam, I would like to thank you ever so much for everything you and your families have done for Odyssey. And I can only hope that as I continue with Odyssey, that I can make the tiniest impact that you can. It only takes one person to change the world. What are you, you crazy group of OMers, going to do?
Bachelor's in Mass Communications at the University of Delaware. Woo! Second,